Welcome back to Milkman Channel. Just a warning, I'm going into some spoilers for Jusant, so if you want as fresh of an experience as possible when playing Jusant, save this video to your watch later and come back once you finish the game. Now with that out of the way, let's get into it. New Bedford, Massachusetts is a town that was formed in the 1760s as a whaling town that specialized in whale oil refining. The town survived as a major whaling hub for about 100 years. However, the discovery of petroleum, a much cheaper oil, in 1859 caused the need for the whale oil in lamps and lanterns, the main use for whale oil, to go down significantly. Pair that with the declining whale population, and the industry that keeps this town afloat was dying quite quickly. But New Bedford didn't raise no bitches though, and the townspeople there are fighters, so they pivoted their main town product to other seaborne commodities, and is still, to this day, one of the most profitable fishing ports in the United States, often ranked number 1 by the National Marine Fisheries Service, with, from what I can tell, scallops being their main product, making up a whopping 84% of the town's fishing income. With all that being said, it's probably pretty safe to say that many people in New Bedford rely on the fishing industry to make their money, and financially support themselves and their families. With all that being said, it's probably pretty safe to say that many people in New Bedford rely on the fishing industry to make their money and financially support themselves and their families. So, the town needs fish to survive, and fish needs water to survive. Second half of that statement being common knowledge. Now let's play a game. Let's say you live in New Bedford, and one day the tide goes out and never comes back in. All the water surrounding this fishing port town, gone. Take the water away, the town will likely not survive since it is built upon its access to water and the resources the water offers. Therefore, you and the residents have 3 options. Option 1, stay and hopefully have the townspeople learn new skills and pivot the town's economy to something that is not centered around water. 2, move to another fishing port town that has water and continue to use the skills you already learned. Or 3, try to bring the water back to the coast of New Bedford. Which would you choose? Now, what does the fishing town of New Bedford, Massachusetts, and this wild situation have in common with a game about climbing a cliff? Well, I'm here to answer that. And the answer is a bit more than you might think. You see, Jusant is 2 things. First, it is a game developed and published by Don't Nod that was released on Halloween Day of 2023 for PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC. I played it on PC through PC Game Pass, which is where all footage you see was captured from. Second, is a French word that translates to low tide. In Jusant, the game, your goal becomes clear before you even take control of the unnamed playable character. Bring your little blue companion back home, and that remains your goal for the entirety of the game. However, as you are climbing this mountainside and working your way into the clouds, you discover the remnants of a village that called this cliffside home, and it becomes quite clear that it is long abandoned. Initially, it's unclear why the village abandoned. However, as you progress upwards, you discover there are 2 big clues as to why the fate of the town is what it is. A minor tell is in the form of beach boats, but you learn a lot more of the story through letters and notes left behind from various former residents. And it quickly becomes clear, much like New Bedford, this was a coastal town that was heavily reliant on the resources the water provided. But you also learn that all the water went away, and there is no sign of it returning. The letters you find discuss many things, from relationships, both personal and professional, what can be done to survive without the watery coast, and the struggles you'd expect from a coastal town with no water, oftentimes discussing the myth of rain and how newer generations don't understand that water can fall from the sky. So you know the tide has been dry for many, many years. However, there is a series of diary entries from a young girl named Bianca that I want to focus on. The entries start as a young Bianca is frustrated with her parents as she longs for an adventure outside of her village, but her parents won't let her leave. However, she then gets her chance as she joins an expedition to climb up the cliff in an effort to find mythical creatures that can cause it to rain and bring back the all too vital water to the town. She chose option 3. As you climb, you find more entries that she wrote to document her journey. Out of all the letters that you find, I found myself most encapsulated by her story. On top of returning my little blue friend home, I found myself being motivated to climb by also wanting to see Bianca's story through, which I did. As you climb and find her entries, you find out that although it is a very challenging endeavor, she's having a great time. But eventually you learn that she never finds the mythical water source, but what she does find is a home. She found refuge in another more higher up village where she was truly happy. and decided to live out the rest of her days. A nice, unexpected, yet comforting end to her journey. I wanted to highlight Bianca's story because although it was never an official objective in the game, following her story gave me an unofficial side quest, something to give me occasional rewards in Jusant, as the main story, admittedly, after the start, basically goes unmentioned until the last 20 to 30 minutes, when you finally reunite your little man with his family, which you then find out that your little friend is, in fact, a baby of the mythical creatures Bianca was searching for. The game ends with you finishing Bianca's quest by reuniting the little man with his own kind and get rain to fall for the first time in what you can assume is decades. And I felt a sense of pride at the end of the game, finishing Bianca's quest for her, achieving what she originally set out to do, but also bringing the little dude back home and getting it to rain. And with the water returning, hopefully bringing life back to what was once a very vibrant and alive cliffside village. But as I was climbing, I felt myself wanting to take a break from time to time, and when I did take a break, I was happy to do so. Jusant gives the player ample opportunities to take a breather and just admire the vista from on high. And the vista is going to be something you are going to want to appreciate. This is truly a beautiful game that has a great cel-shaded art style, one of my personal favorite types of art styles. And then pair that with a gorgeous soundtrack highlighted by piano and violin tones. Despite a measly 4-hour runtime, it is a game that does not rush you. It urges you to take your time and take in the sights. All in all, Jusant is a short but lovely play. As someone who played their first Souls-like game, Liza P, and followed that up with the Speed Demon arcade racer Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, Jusant was a very nice change of pace. A calm, relaxed play that instead of getting my blood pumping faster and breaking me into a sweat, it had me work slowly, no danger in sight, and take a breather every so often. What Jusant was a reminder to take things slow sometimes, take it all in, and although the destination can be enjoyed, be like Bianca and enjoy the journey as well. Jusant was a great little journey to take, and if you have Game Pass and you want a nice, short, relaxing play, I could not recommend it more. Also, quick side note, I have linked my sources for the info on New Bedford in the description if you want to check those out. With Jusant done, I'll be hopping into Firewatch, which at the time of recording, I actually already finished. But in the meantime, I'd like to thank you for taking some time and listen to me talk about Jusant and the journey I had with this game. If you liked the video, don't forget that thumbs up button and tell YouTube that you liked it, as it helps out a ton. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you like video games and food, as I make videos on both of those topics. And while you're at it, hit that bell to turn on post notifications so you don't miss a thing. Lastly, let's talk in the comments. If you played Jusant, let me know what you thought, what you think if you haven't played, or anything relating to video games. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. See you.